Hello and welcome to the Design and Implement Cloud Services course, part of the Azure 70532 Exam Prep by Cloud Academy. In this lecture, we'll briefly introduce you to all the topics that we'll be covering in this course on cloud services. This course assumes some familiarity with the fundamentals of .NET development. The course does not require advanced expertise, but some familiarity of Visual Studio 2013 or newer and C# is assumed. A basic knowledge of PowerShell is a plus, but again, it's not essential. The aim of this course is to give you a thorough grounding in cloud services in Azure. We'll first quickly provide a contextual overview of what they are before moving on to the main objectives in this course. Firstly, we'll cover the fundamentals of designing and developing cloud services, including the SDKs and tools that you use. Next, we'll move on to the configuration of cloud services and the roles that make up a service. We'll then move on to looking at the options for deployment of a cloud service, before finally looking at monitoring and debugging a cloud service that's already deployed. Let's first discuss what cloud services are and why you might use them. Cloud services offer a middle ground between virtual machines and web applications. As such, they are a platform service. In other words, they provide a managed environment within which to host your application code. They offer a more constrained and easier to use deployment model than virtual machines, whilst offering a managed scaling model to ensure high availability of your applications. Of course, as a platform as a service, you don't have to worry about operating system upgrades. These are taken care for you. Let's briefly look at the visual representation of a cloud service. Firstly, cloud services run on a virtual machine. Incidentally, you can log into the virtual machine if needed, although as we'll see, this is rarely needed. On top of this virtual machine, we have an Azure Cloud Services runtime. This provides the managed service that allows us to deploy and configure applications without having to worry about the nitty-gritty of deployment as we might have to, for example, with PowerShell. Lastly, we create a cloud service application, for example, a .NET application with dependencies on the Azure Cloud Service SDK, which is designed to run on the Azure Cloud Services runtime. This is then packaged up using the Azure Cloud Services tools and deployed into a cloud service. There are several situations which are ideal for cloud services. Firstly, they're an ideal candidate for migrating existing .NET-based services to run in Azure. Essentially, any back-end worker service that you may already be using. We also get a significantly easier deployment model than we might with virtual machines, as we're able to upload a package to Azure, then handle the deployments automatically. They're also capable of running managed installations of IIS, which makes them ideal for migrating ASP.NET web applications, such that we're then able to make the most of these platform features while still developing web applications using familiar tooling. Stay tuned for the next section, where we'll start to discuss the design and development of cloud services.